record this. So how to push the code into GitHub and how to work with Git. So these commands are very important. Wherever you go, these Git commands are mandatory. Okay. You should understand what are the commands regularly you will use, how to work with these Git commands. Then you have a API testing later. Okay, so let's understand first this framework structure, how you can explain framework in the interviews. They will ask all these questions mandatorily. So what are the frameworks you are using, and which framework you are using, and what is the structure, what are the different components are there in this framework, and you need to answer for that. So let's go and understand what are the frameworks available in the market, and so what is that? What are them? So we have a what is meant by framework first? A framework is nothing but, so it's an approach. Basically, it's an approach, and you are going to organize your entire code in a folder structure by following some rules and instructions, so that maintainability is easy, and you can avoid the duplicate code, and you can optimize the code, and so easy to write the code even for the newcomers also. If you understand first of all, understanding the framework is a very important. So many people struggle in understanding the frameworks. If you understand the framework, so life is going to be easy. If you don't understand, then it's a problem. So you have to understand that. So that's the framework. So following a set of instructions and guidelines will be followed, and you are organizing the code in a proper folder structure. That is called a framework. So framework features are reusability of the code. Maintenance of the code is very easy. It provides the reports, and it provides logs and screenshots. So any non-technical novice resources also can understand and write the code easily. And one time, so first time if you understand how to run the framework, how to run the script in the framework, and then just go and see the code. So what are their reusable methods? So how people are calling, already it will be there for you. You don't need to struggle. If it is already framework exists in the company, it's easy. If it is not there, they're asking to build you, that's a difficult task for you. But if it is already there, and you don't need to struggle, you can just follow some of the classes previously written and just understand the reusable methods. Already I told you, reusable methods we have written so many, how we are calling them. Same way, there also reusable methods are there. You call them for your actions, your test case. So that's the main concept. Anywhere you go, that's the same process. And what are the different type of frameworks we have? We have a data-driven framework, keyword-driven framework, hybrid framework. So mainly we will, so you can answer, we are using a hybrid framework. Which framework you are using, they might ask you. You can tell hybrid framework. So what is mean by hybrid framework? So hybrid framework is a collection of different concepts like data-driven framework, TestNG with a design pattern, page object model design pattern. So we call this POM, page object model design pattern. So that concept you can use it. So it is a combination of TestNG, data-driven or keyword-driven, and page object model design pattern. This is the very important page object model design pattern. We understood already TestNG. So we understood already data-driven means what? When you can go for data driven, when there are many scenarios, you want to iterate many times, same flow, but different sets of data you want to give, then you will go for the data driven instead of doing manually. So you want to do the same flow with a different sets of data, then you will do a data driven. So that TestNG is providing a data-driven option with a data provider annotation. We have seen already. That's one concept we learned with TestNG. And mainly TestNG is used to organize your code, right? In a different setup methods and test annotations, and data provider for storing the data, parameterization for supplying data from XML file. We learned already these things. Last 2 weeks, we are working on that TestNG only. And then, so data-driven also I covered there. So data-driven purpose itself is, so you will supply the different sets of data to test the same flow. So that's the data-driven. What is page object model? Page object model design pattern. This is the very, very important and common interview questions. In anywhere you go. What is page object model? Why you will use it? What is the advantages of that? So page object model design pattern is used to design the web page elements. How you will design your web page elements, that is going to be explained by this page object model design pattern. So, and see, page object model is also known as a POM. It's a design pattern. You tell all these points very clearly. It is a design pattern in Selenium that creates an object repository for storing all the web elements of your web pages. So what is it is doing? Page object model. So it creates an object repository for storing that page related elements. So each page you are using, right? So in that page, what elements you are using? Those elements you identify first. Put it in the one page class. That is called page object model design pattern. Basically, what it will do, it is useful in reducing the code, so duplications, and improves the test case maintenance is easy, right? Tomorrow, some change happened in the web page. You don't need to modify in all the places where you are using. You can go and one place only can modify. That's the main concept of this page object model. So otherwise, what will happen tomorrow if some change happened in the UI, the ID, name, class, or anything changes? If you're using multiple places, all of them, then it's difficult, right? All the places you have to modify. Instead of that, if you follow the page object model principles, so it tells clearly, okay, each page wise you have a page class, Java class. That class inside you identify all your page elements. Place it there. That's a repository. One place you are keeping that page related objects only you are keeping in that page class, in that Java page class. Once you identify them, then you do the actions on that page elements in the same class. So what actions you want to perform on that elements? You do the actions using your WebDriver methods. If you want to click, so element.click. If you want to type, so element.send keys method. If you want to check, so element.is selected. Condition you write, if element is selected or is not selected, you just click on that. So, or if you want to select an option from drop-down, just write that. Select an option from drop-down. So using select class you can do, or list box, whatever you want. These are the different methods you will write in the same page class, so that it's easy for you to understand, okay, this element belongs to which page. You're referencing a page name is your page class. Your page name is a page class. So that's how you will identify all the elements and respective methods. In page object model, consider each web page of an application as a class file. So that's what I told you. Just now I told you. Each web page of an application, one Java class file. Each class file will contain only that page related web elements. Using these elements, testers can perform operations on the website under test. So on that elements, what action you are doing? Click, cut, type. So selecting option. What is that? What action you are doing on that element? That action methods also you write in the same page class. So that's then how can I call them in my test cases? This is the class. Class inside elements are there. Variables and methods only, right? How you can call in another class? One class variables and methods. How can I call in another class? Another package class?
Import.
The class name.
Import.
Imports.
Class name.
Sorry.
And class name dot.
Class name dot class name dot.
Understand my question. So these are all non-static variables and non-static methods.
We have to import those package.
No.
Okay, first step is import. What is the second step?
Object creation.
Object creation.
We need to create an
You have to
object.
do object creation, right?
Uh-huh.
When it comes to end of the Selenium. What is the difficulty here? Why you are forgetting the concepts? It's a common, right? Anywhere it's common, right? If non-static means what is the one concept only, single concept. First import in if it is another package, then create object for that class. Then what is the difficulty here to remember that also? If you know the concept, it's everywhere same only. I don't know why you're missing all these basics. Struggling still. Okay, so what are the advantages of page object model? So helps with the easy maintenance. As I already mentioned, if some element modified by developer, you don't need to modify wherever you're using that element. You just modify in the one class file, and that will automatically reflect on all the page class, because you're not using the value in all the page classes, all the test cases. You're going to use only the element name, the reference name. So name is not going to change. Only value is going to change. So that's why it won't affect. That's why maintenance is very easy and not a tedious task. So one file only will make changes. That's the main concept of page object model. So, and second point, you can reuse the code. So it's basically every screen wise you have a classes, right? It's a each page one Java class. And you can reuse wherever you want the same methods in all the classes. You don't need to write again and again. That's another reusability will be available with a page object model concept. And readability and reliability of the scripts. So more readability will be there because you can easily understand, okay, this element or this method belongs to which page class. You can easily understand. Anybody can go and understand, okay, this page, these elements, these things. If you are not following that, it's going to be a problem. Okay, that's the main objective of this page object model design pattern. So how you can implement the page object model design pattern? So using plain page object model and page factory class. So any one of them people can use. Plain page object model means you will identify every element as a, so the element, this by dot locator returns a data type is a by data type. So by and the element name by dot locator of locator value. So what is the return type of these methods? These methods returns a by data type. So by dot element name by dot locator. What are the locators?
ID,
ID, name,
text,
export, CSS selector,
selector, tag bar.
partial link. That
Hmm.
is
Okay. So those are the locators, right? So those locators, anyone you can use it. In the locator place, you place it. And this is returning a by type. So by the element name. So on these elements, you write the respective methods. You write the respective methods. So see that. Driver dot find element, this element name, dot click. What is this element name means? By dot locator, right? By, generally we are writing find element by dot locator value, but we are identifying here that I am assigning to this variable. So that variable I am calling here. That is the, so this plain page object model concept. Then what is page factory? Mostly people will use page factory one. So page factory, both you can use either this one or this one. It's up to you which one you want to use. So this one, page factory class is provided by Selenium WebDriver. So, and this is going to give @find by annotation and init element method, which is going to initialize the init element method will initialize the web elements of that page class. You have to create a constructor, and that constructor inside you will call this this class dot this init element method, and you have to pass a driver object and also that class, the particular current class. So that's the how you are going to use this init elements method. So I'll show you that. What is this @find by annotation? So this annotation is used in the page factory to locate and declare web elements using different locators. So below is the example @find by bracket the locator name equal to locator value. So web element you can put it. Web element. So similarly, one can use @find by with a different location strategies. So you can use here class name, or you can use CSS selector or name or XPath or tag name, link text, partial link text. These are the locators you can use in this place. So then init elements method. Init elements method. So this init elements method is a static method in page factory class. So using the init elements method, you can initialize all the web elements of that page class. That is the this init elements purpose. So lazy initialization, one more is there, but this is mainly Ajax elements locator factory. So to handle the Ajax elements, you will use this. So that's fine, but we are going to use this one and this one only. Let me show you first. So you create a class below, you create a constructor, public class name. Is this a constructor or not? The constructor inside, you have to use a page factory dot init elements method, then driver comma this. What is meant by this keyword?
Current class variable.
Current class.
It refers to the current class. So that means this class objects, it is going to refer and initialize them. That's this initialize method will do that. In init elements method, initialize the elements of this page class. So that's the after class inside, first you have to create a constructor. Then @find by locator value. Below that you write the element name, private web element name. Can you observe here in the plain page object model, you are not getting the element directly. So you have to use a driver.find element, element name dot click. But in the find by is giving directly a web element. So that means you don't need to write a driver.find element again here. So when you're doing a action on these elements, directly element name dot click element name dot send guess you can do. That's the difference between plain page object model and using page factory. Is it clear?
Please, sir. Yes,
The
sir.
difference of them?
Sir.
Okay. So that's all about. So let's go and understand hybrid framework. You need to explain this, all this. So just tell this, no, hybrid framework. So you have a page objects, all the pages you will write like this: base page, home page, registration page, login page, search page. See, every page class ends with a page keyword. So that you can easily understand, right? You can easily understand what is the page class, right? What is a page class? You can understand nicely. And same test cases will end with the test keyword: login test, login DDT, account page registration test, search product test, add to cart test. So test keyword will be there for test classes. All these page classes you will use in the test cases. Okay, then you have a utilities methods. This is the component. These are the different components. They will ask you, explain your framework structure. You have to tell. So we have a page component, test cases component, utilities component, test data component, all the resources, reports, logs, POM.xml, testng.xml. So all you explain everything. So this is all development phase. This is the development phase. And then this one is a execution phase. So once the development is done, then you will put all these classes in the testng.xml. And once you run as a testng.xml, even you can mention in the POM.xml also. So then it will generate the reports and logs. So once the logs can be either info or debug or warning. So the reports are testng reports or extent reports. All these are the reports, different reports. So once this is done, so then you can run them, and you can push this entire code into Git using GitHub. The Git tool, this is the Git is a tool, a version control tool. Using that tool, you can push this entire code into GitHub. So once it is pushed into GitHub, from there it will fetch all this code into the Jenkins, and there your test cases will run. So this is how the entire flow will be available. Any questions here on this framework? Even you can understand in detail I have given here. So you have each component is one package. See, base component you have, and pages component one you have, config component, data component, utilities, listeners, test cases, and reports. All these are different components. We are going to have them. So this in detail again. So here you can place your base class will be there top. In the base class, basically what will be there? Reading properties, your browser initialization, before sudo, after sudo, before method, after method. Any of these annotations will be available in this base class. Mainly you will initialize the browser. That's a base class purpose. And then that will be extended to your utility methods and page classes and configurations, listeners. You will extend to listeners also. You will extend to utilities class, all the utilities. Here in the utilities, you have to take the screenshots, how to use data from the Excel sheets, how to read and how to write, and then utilities. So these are the utility related things. And this part is all the development phase, and you will develop the design, the test cases here. So the top one is better, and you can understand here in detail I have given. Each box is one component, separate package. And then test case development is done. Then you will include all these test cases in the testng.xml. Testng.xml you will include in the POM.xml. POM.xml, so once it is done, then you will push the code, this entire code, into GitHub using Git tool. And then you can run in the Jenkins this code. So that's the overall framework structure. So for this, we should have first you have to create a Maven project. So let's understand Maven also. What is meant by Maven and what structure will be there, all those things. But before that, I want to give few more interview questions here. They will ask these questions. Did you implement interface in your automation? This is the question they will ask. If you are putting a more experience, so all these questions answers you should know. Okay. And they're asking, so you have to give answer yes. So what is the explanation you can give? Yes, we have implemented iTest listener interface in our custom class. All the iTest listener interface methods are implemented in a custom listener class. Tell the same thing. No need to change words also. Or you frame your own words, but make sure you are getting same this interface name and everything. So iTest listener interface methods are, these are the ones. On start, on test failure, on test skipped, on test start, on test success. So what is meant by these methods? So this method will invoke each time a test is succeeded. So when the test is succeeded, this code, this on test success code will execute for you. On test start, so invoked each time before a test will be invoked. Okay, so a test case execution before this will be first, this will execute. On test skipped, if your test case is skipped, this block of code will execute. On test failure means invoked each time a test fails. On start of the, so the entire script, first the class invoked after the test class is instantiated before any configuration method is called. So on start will execute that time. So this is all these methods are declared in this interface, and you're implementing your own logic in your custom class. That's the answer. So you have to read all these things, understand. So what is interface? I'm getting again interface concepts here. So that means you are implementing the abstraction here, right? So if you are implementing means you are overriding the methods. Even method overriding also covering. So where you have used Java OOPS concepts in your automation framework, all these are the commonly asked interview questions on the framework. So Java OOPS concepts, you know already: encapsulation, inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction. So encapsulation means what? So every page class follows the encapsulation concept. Sir, where is this? Every page class, how it follows the encapsulation? You have every page element is a one variable. And that variable you're using inside your methods. That's a bonding each other, right? They are binding each other in the class. That's why this is a encapsulated concept in the framework. Each page class is a one encapsulated class. The pages are declared as a private, and respective element methods are defined as a public. So that's the encapsulation concept. applied on the page classes. So inheritance. So inheritance means you know one class extends to another class. Here, a test-based class is extending into every test.ng class. Your test cases. It is extending into a test cases. So that's why inheritance is also followed there. So this one example, public class search text extends test-based class. So these are all examples you can give. Even I have given few more. Every page class will extend to WebDriver utility class. Public class WebDriver utility extends a test base. So home page extends WebDriver utility. So these are all different kinds of multi-level inheritance also we are applying in this. So interface, I just now explained, but WebDriver itself is an interface. So WebDriver itself is an interface. So WebDriver itself is an interface. So JavaScript executor is another interface. Action is another interface. Takes a screenshot is another interface. Wait is another interface.
Alert also.
Interface. All these are interfaces. Yeah, any questions?
Alert is also an interface.
Which one?
Alert, sir.
Alert. Alert is also an interface. So all these, WebDriver are interface, main interface. This is implemented in the remote WebDriver class. The implementation is coming also there. And you are overriding the WebDriver methods in the remote WebDriver class so that it is following method overriding concept. If you are implementing the interface in the class means you are overriding them. You are overriding that methods. So that's another example of method overriding concept. So any other questions? Are we good?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So polymorphism, what is polymorphism? See, WebDriver driver equal to new Chrome driver. This is the runtime polymorphism. So this is the child class, right? So the interface is pointing to the child class object. So you are overriding all this parent class methods, you are overriding here. That's why this is a runtime polymorphism class. So which class you will create object, that class methods only will be called for you. That class methods logic only you will get here. That's why this is following a runtime polymorphism. So method overloading. So method overloading, actions class is following method overloading concept. All actions class methods. Click without parameters. Click with parameter. Context click of web element. So these are method overloading examples. So many you can give. Even frame method also overloaded. Implicitly wait method also overloaded. Okay, so these are the so many methods you can tell that. Even expected conditions class methods also overloaded. Element to be clickable, by dot locator value web element. So that's all about. I covered all the things, right? All of the OOPS concepts. Now, so let's go and understand Maven. What is mean by Maven? So Maven is nothing but it's a build tool. Build tool is different, version control is different, CI/CD tool is different. Don't confuse, okay? Build tool means it builds your entire project. It compiles your project. It create a jar file of your entire project. So it will help you to add the required dependencies to your project. So this is all done by build tools. So what are the build tools in the market? Very famous build tools are Maven, Gradle. These two are the very famous build tools. There are so many. Okay, but these two are very famous. I have worked on these two only, mostly in my entire career also. There are different build tools are there, but most of the companies will use either Maven or Gradle. So here, if you observe that this Maven is going to build your entire project, the entire project life cycle is managed by this build tools. So what are the build tools will help you? Let me see here. We have a Maven. Yeah, here we have Maven. What this Maven is doing. So any build tool will basically takes care of entire build process. So generate the source code, generate the documentation from source code, compiles the source code, packages compiled code into jar or zip file it will create, installs the package code in the local repository, central repository, or server repository. Required jar files will be downloaded by build tool to your project. Jar files is nothing but a library files. The jar files we are adding, right? Those will be automatically downloaded to your project. You just mention them in the POM.xml. POM.xml is the heart of entire Maven project. Till now we created a Java projects, but we are going to create now Maven project. So what are the build tools? As I mentioned, Maven and Gradle are there. So the main thing is we have I want to explain this. There's a group ID. These are the tags. POM.xml is the heart of any Maven project. This POM.xml inside you can find these tags. Group ID tag, artifact ID, version. A group ID means a group, a domain. Artifact means in this group, one of the software. That's the artifact. So what is the version of this software is version tag. And there is one more scope tag. So where you can use this artifact. So that means that software where you can use in compile time, run time, so testing time, when you will use that dependency or when you will use that jar file. So that you can tell by a scope tag. So these are the main important group tag, group ID tag, artifact ID, version, scope. These are the main XML tags you are going to use in this POM.xml. Other than that, nothing. And so there are scopes are there, different scopes are there. So this is the one. See that. So dependency will be there. Dependency, open tag, dependency, close tag. Like that, each dependency you have to write like this. Dependency tag inside you have a group ID, artifact ID, version. So this is the one dependency. Like that, you're going to add multiple dependencies. Okay. These are the different scopes, compile scope. So if you don't mention anything, that's a compile scope. So if you write a provided, that means already provided by a Docker or containers. It is there inside that containers, the softwares are already available or that library already available. Then you will use a provided scope. So you will write like this. Scope.
Ramesh, are these dependencies are jar files?
Yes. Basically a software like Selenium, right? Selenium is a one dependency for your project. TestNG is a one dependency for your project, Maven project. Any project you are developing a project, you should have all these dependencies. Each software is a one dependency. Okay, so that dependency, if you mention with a version, automatically that version will download to you, to your project. You don't, till now we are downloading and adding to the project, right? You don't need to do that. So Maven will take care. Maven will take care. You just mention like this. So Maven will take care automatically.
Okay.
So that's this provided and also runtime. So that means this you can use only at runtime. That's a runtime means. And the test scope means you will use this in the during your testing time only. That's a test scope. System scope and provided scope are almost similar, but system you will mention like this, system path. So from where, which system you are accessing this dependency jar. So that's a system path. Provided means already that a Docker container or so, they are providing them already libraries. You don't need to separately download them. So there you just mention that. That's a provided. System means you are bringing from system particular path. So in that path, this jar you take, you are saying this path, this jar is available in this path. So import, we will use very less. Mostly we'll use provided, system and test. Test is widely used. And the compile anyhow you are not going to use. If you don't mention anything, that's a compile by default. These are the scopes. Sometimes they will ask what is test scope, what is a runtime scope, what is provided, what is system scope. So that's why I'm explaining these things. But just go through here. Some commands also I given. So a lot of commands. See that mvn clean. This command is used to clean the project's target directory. Whatever is there in the target directory, that will clean up. That's a mvn clean. Mvn compile. This will compile the entire source code. These are all command line commands, Maven commands. So mvn package, the entire package will be prepared into a jar file. Mvn install, this command is used to install the package into a local repository. Mvn deploy, so this will deploy the package to a remote repository. Mvn test, mvn test you will use to run the unit test case of the project. So this is the very important for us. Mvn clean, mvn install, mvn test. So these are the commands you are going to use. Okay, so please know these commands, it will help you. So basically we will give like this, mvn clean test. This command is used to clean the project and run the test. That's mvn clean test means. Okay, so that's all about. Let's go and create the Maven project. Okay, let's create the Maven project and add all the dependencies one by one. So how to create a Maven project? So if you open your Eclipse already, go to File, New Project. Don't take a Java project. Take the project. And then search here Maven. Then you want a new Maven project, right? Select Maven project. Anybody doing along with me or no?
Yes, sir.
Then click on next. Click on next button. So then create a simple project, select the checkbox and click on next button. Then, so give your project, okay? So we'll give OpenCard hybrid framework, okay? You can give an artifact ID also, same if you want. Okay, then click on finish. Then it will create the project. Can you see there? So OpenCard hybrid framework, March 22, 2023 is my project name. So if you go and open that and open this project, okay, open this project, this one, right? This project you open, expand it. So then you can see automatic folder structure. This is the Maven project. SRC main Java, SRC main resources, SRC test Java, SRC test resources, JRE system library, source folder, target folder, POM.xml. This is the main important file, POM.xml. POM.xml is the heart of your Maven project. So like you have in the Gradle, build.gradle. So okay. And now we need to understand this. So it doesn't matter where, so the code, see SRC main Java, some people will write the code. SRC main resources, the resources, all your data related config files, you can place it here. SRC test Java, definitely you have to write your test cases related data, or you can write the entire your test case related folder structure, you can put it here. It doesn't matter here or here, but test cases must come under SRC test Java. You can place all your utilities or your base classes, your base classes, everything you can keep it here. But test cases must come under SRC test Java. So either way, you can, any structure, you don't need to, there is no thumb rule. You have to write here only, you have to use here only, and the structure is different. It doesn't matter. You should not consider the structure. You go and check folder by folder, package by package, what classes are there, so what code they have written. That's how you need to understand first their framework structure. Any company you go, the first thing you need to understand the project structure, how they created. What are different components are there that you create, that you try to understand that. Okay, so let's go and do that now. As of now, we have POM.xml. Can you all open POM.xml? See that? So we don't have anything here. Nothing, right? Just project tag, model version tag, group ID tag, artifact ID tag, version tag, then project tag. Okay. So now I need to add all the dependencies. So you put the cursor in the 5th line, version after, press enter key. This is the one. In this area, there are 4 sections will be there in this project. This is your project, start to end. Everything should be under this project tags in between only. So this is the one project information section, first section. See your project name and group ID means project name and particular. So project you are giving. And same way, then you have dependencies. Next one is very important, dependencies. This is a very important. So now you got a start tag, end tag. You press the enter key and reach all the, so dependencies must be under dependencies tag only. So what are the dependencies we need? So you need all the dependencies I mentioned very clearly here. You go here, see in our blog, there is one more hybrid framework utils. So go here and you will get everything properly. See the structure also I created, the same structure we are going to create. So this structure we are going to create and reuse that structure. Okay. So how to use this structure, we'll see that. See what are all the dependencies you need. Add required dependencies. You just go and click on these links and you will get the all of them. So these are the all of them, you go and add. So if you click these links, automatically it will take you. You don't need to open something and all those things. Just click on this. Open in the new tab. See, automatically it will take you to that page. So click on this and copy this and paste it inside the under dependencies. Then you have to do Control S. So Control S, if you do, it is going to download. See, building 66, this, right? It is downloading, and also you're going to have a Maven folder. See, Maven dependencies. Before it was not there. Now you got it. Maven dependencies. So you're going to get all the dependencies. It is downloading, download source and Java doc. So it is downloading everything. See, you can see all the Selenium jars here. See, these are all the Selenium jars. So we didn't download. Who is doing that? Maven is doing that. Under Maven dependencies folder, your dependencies or your specified dependency will be available under Maven dependencies. Is it clear?
Clear, sir.
Yes, Ramesh.
Now go and add all the dependencies. So which is available already. You don't need to struggle also. Just click on that and go to the latest versions and copy paste here. That's it. So one by one, let's go and do this. So this is done. Next one, test ng. Just open this. Just do that, okay? So you will get it easily. So 7.71. Copy this and go and paste it here. That's it. Then same way, go to the next one. Commons, lang 3. So take this and copy paste that. So automatically, once you select, automatically it will be copied. You don't need to separately copy again. Control V, it will paste it here. Next. So what is the next one? Commons IO. So we know, right, why you need a commons IO. Why do you need a commons IO? See that? Utility classes, stream implementers, file filters, file comparators. So basically file copying purpose, we used this in the, when you take the screenshot, after the screenshot, you called file utils dot copy file. You remember that? That copy file, file utils is coming from this dependency. Nobody remembered that?
Remember, sir.
Yeah. So then Apache Py. So why do you need Apache Py libraries? So Apache Py libraries are used to work with a Microsoft Excel sheets. If you want to work with Excel sheets, you are going to use this Apache Py library. Okay. Next. So we add one by one all these. So please add all of them and save. Okay, Control S you do, so that it will be easy for you. So log4j for logging purpose or log messages. You want to log the messages, you will use this log4j. So we are going to generate the log4j for logging purpose. Logger messages. All your messages will be logged here. So extend reports. So this is the reporting purpose. We are using extend reports. So you want to report, you will use extend reports. So there is a one more Allure reports. So this is also better reports purpose. We are using this, and you can so use version has come. You can go here. I think it moved here. I can take a new version. I'll give this link there. Okay, first let me give this. New version, I'll update my so blog. Always, that's what you need to keep updating them, right? That's very important. You have to update this. Otherwise, I'll just change it to 2.21.0. 2.21.0. So I have to go. Yeah, I cannot modify here. I have to go. Okay. So I'll do that, but no problem. Just take even this also fine. Okay. Anything is fine. It's up to you. That's a second step. So this is so creating a project is one step. Second step, add required dependencies into the POM.xml is the second biggest step. So the next step is we need to add the build section. So there is a build section and properties section. Another two sections, we will add that also. We'll finish that also. So the build section, and if I have here, I don't think so I have here, but we have one more place. First, the theory part I explained, right? There you can find the entire thing, build section. Hybrid framework here. So you have to use these two links, okay, to get the right information. Here we have a build section here. So we have, this is the build section, all the dependencies, build and properties section. So you can copy from properties to till here, the build section. So you can use that. And I'm just checking anywhere extra is there. Yeah, that's the main thing. Okay, you can just copy from here. Only build part you copy till build. So build part you copy it till properties to build. So properties and this build part, only that you copy and go and paste in the after version tag. You copy paste. That's it. So this whole POM.xml is ready now. Now we need to build the structure, and that structure will create tomorrow.
So Ramesh, first step is always to create Maven project.
Yes. Second, update the POM.xml with the dependencies. What dependencies you need.
So do all the companies follow the same process like the page object
Yeah.
model? Okay.
Yes. So most of the companies are going to have this framework,
Mhm.
but if they don't have, you can you need to develop.
Okay.
So if you're going in an SDET role, sometimes you have to create a framework.
Okay.
So as a senior automation engineer, if you're going, you have to create it. If you want to create, you should know all this. Otherwise, it's a difficult.
So in interview, they'll be asking what type of dependencies we are going to add in POM.xml, these kind of questions also.
Yeah, you can ask, right? Their so requirements will be there. Some companies they won't give access to this POM.xml because they are already going to have.
Okay.
Okay, so but you can, if you are creating a framework, they will give you access. You can add all of them, right? If some changes are required, you can do that.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So any questions before ending the session?